captive audience. Well, I've got a few things I want to get off. Today we're going to tackle some real issues surrounding menstruation and the people who menstruate. But the executive board at Backburner thought this might be a little touchy, so they decided we should bring on some help so I can channel my emotions and we don't get sued. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce all the way from the Key and Peele Character Company, my anger translator, Luthina.
You've got dildos ready to get your minds blown!
Let's start with the basics.
If we don't start with the basics, all you basic bitches aren't going to be able to stick with the fucking facts!
Number 1, trans men are men.
This woman is talking, and I don't see you fucking taking notes!
Not wrong, she's not wrong. Number 2, each transition is unique. And there's more than one way to transition for any trans man or woman. And all of the transitions are valid. Even not transitioning is valid. There's a multitude of gender-affirming procedures, and someone who has one is just as valid as someone who doesn't want to or can't afford to have one.
If this comes as a surprise to you, you better hold on to your cisgender hat, because you have another thing coming!
You often hear people asking trans people if they've had bottom surgery or had the surgery. Well, that's a lie. There's way more than one type of surgery and even more than one type of bottom surgery. So, next time, think before you ask.
Having a dick doesn't make you a dude. Just like having an asshole doesn't make you an asshole. So you're walking a fine line there, bucko!
Some men still have uteruses because they haven't undergone surgery. And because of this, they often still have period symptoms from their cycle.
And when we say symptoms, no, we're not talking about the lack of brain power and discretion that some politicians think accompanies a period. Seriously, that dumb fuck in the White House uses less brain power and discretion, and those aren't fucking period symptoms. He's just a jackass.
He cut ties with Canada. Who does that?
Fucking Canada!
Now, hormonal therapy, such as an increased level of testosterone, might help, but as I mentioned earlier, it's not always feasible, and for some trans men, it's not even desirable.
Cis men don't even like cis women talking about their feminine needs! Well, fuck up, boys, because listen here! We want your toxic we want your toxic masculinity back in the 1900s!
Trans men should be allowed to openly and honestly talk about their periods.
If you thought we were done, we're not. We're just getting started!
Which brings us to trans women, who also have problems with their lack of uteruses. And by problems, I don't mean that they're the problem. I mean that society's perception of the way periods are inherent in womanhood is the problem.
Just because you have a uterus, it doesn't make you a deuterus. Oh, sorry. Just because you have a uterus, it doesn't make you a deuterus! But it does mean that there's no blood! And if you fucking think for a minute that that's incorrect, I'll show you some fucking blood!
As I mentioned before, you can go on hormone therapy like testosterone. Trans women have the option to go on estrogen-heavy hormone regimens, but because they don't have uteruses, that means they won't have periods.
You thought trans women got off scot-fucking-free, huh? Check your privilege, and 2, you were fucking wrong! Again!
Trans women, if they elect to go on hormones, will even experience period symptoms, but they won't lose blood, tissue, or mucus the way that cisgender women would during a period. But I know, this is a lot to take in, especially if this is your introduction to trans rights. But I have a few tips to help you navigate these tricky waters. 1. Trans people are people too.
Shock and awe, man. It's like the reflexive property or some shit. I don't know. What the fuck? How do you not know that?
Number 2. Regardless of who you're talking about, it's impossible to know everything about anyone. So use inclusive language whenever possible. That way, you don't have to worry about accidentally messing up around a coworker or a new potential best friend.
You know, it's like my mom always told me, you know, you don't have anything nice to say, you better shut the fuck up!
And number 3, if you make a mistake, just say sorry and move on.
There it is, you know, you can't just act like a fucking 4-year-old when you make a mistake. When you make a mistake, you better fucking apologize and don't be a dipshit!
So, if you follow these tips, we can work together to create a more thoughtful world, especially in these more trying times. And thank you to Lucina for being an excellent translator.
The presentation's over, but you can't go home! Thank you to Lucina for being an excellent translator.